Folks, welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Tuesday episode. Man, we did it. We really got back to it on Monday, huh? It's January 6th, but Monday kicked my tuchus. I think that's a term for butt. It kicked my butt, you guys, in a good way. I hope it kicked yours in a good way, too. Regardless, we've got a great episode for you today. We have an interview that I did a couple of months ago, but it is one of my favorite interviews that I did last year, but it involves a serious topic. We're going to do a bunch of pop culture stories before we get to that interview, and I don't want to scare you off because the interview was fantastic, and my two guests, Kevin Greenlee and Anya Kane, are just top tier. It focuses on the Delphi murders. They host themselves a podcast called the Murder Sheet Podcast, which I highly recommend, but they also wrote a book about the Delphi murders called Shadow of the Bridge that I highly recommend. It is such an incredibly crafted book that really takes you through the Delphi murders and capturing the man dubbed as Bridge Guy. And I also think it's a great commentary on the hysteria that happens to a small town and the court proceedings, and also the role that internet sleuths play in true crime nowadays. But this was just a great conversation, so I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. And I really want to have them back on, hopefully for a way less serious topic. But I can't say enough good things about them, so I'm so thrilled to finally be able to release this episode. But don't worry, we're gonna do a lot of stories up top that are silly, goofy. Hopefully it'll put a smile on your face, and then we'll get to that interview. But if you don't want to feel silly or goofy, please use the timestamp to skip right past that. Let me tell you a little bit about my day, too, because I told you yesterday it was going to be a busy day, and my God, was it. So today, I am on the Morally Corrupt podcast with Rachel Lindsay, and that was so fun. I got to do it downtown at the Spotify offices. Oh, man, Spotify offices, beautiful. They have a barista, you guys. And you know what that means? Free coffee. Yeah, I had a big old free iced coffee, and that was amazing. Rachel Lindsay is just so top tier. She also does the Higher Learning podcast, and they were recording that before I was able to get in there and record, the silly Bravo stuff where they're having like serious, intense conversations, and then we switched to the Bravo. But I got to do that, and that was just so fun. So go check that out. I also want to say that today, or on Monday, they released finally the Humble Brag episode that I did in 2025 at the very end. I did it like December 21st or something like that. And that is the podcast hosted by Cynthia Bailey, my cousin, and Crystal Minkoff. And I think that was just so fun. And I've heard from a couple of people that said they really loved it. It really was one of my favorite conversations. I love those women so much. And Crystal, I have to say, I really consider Crystal a friend. She's a really amazing lady. And it's been a real treat to get to know her a little past reality TV. And she's a really top tier person. So go support both of those. So I did that at Spotify. That ran way over. And I was supposed to be in Burbank, you guys, because I had 2 in-studio recordings with guests. And so I was like 30 minutes late to the first one. And I'm like frantically calling, like, I'm late. They were obvious. It doesn't seem like everybody's fully back to work in Los Angeles. And if you don't live in Los Angeles, you're usually not supposed to be able to get from downtown to Burbank in 23 minutes. But this guy did. And don't worry, I abided the speeding, the speeding signs. I abided the speeding signs, don't worry. But I interviewed Allison and Kimmy, who have a dating podcast, and I can't wait for you to listen to it because we talk a lot about my dad, actually, and dating in reality television. It's great. They're so fun. And then I talked to 2 of the cast members of the new Vanderpump Rules, which turned out to be a fantastic interview. I can't wait for you to hear that too. That's going to be on Wednesday. And I mean, this week is jam-packed. We got Salt Lake, we got Beverly Hills, we got Southern Charm, and we got the Return of the Traitors. How are we going to do it all? On top of, The Pit comes back. I mentioned that on Monday. The Pit comes back on Max on Thursday as well. It's just an embarrassment of riches. Can I tell you something? I've seen the first episode of the new season of The Traitors. I'm not supposed to say anything, but my God, is it good? Already, it is good. I know who the traitors are. You'll have to waterboard this information out of me, but I am happy to report that the first episode is excelente. It is so good. I had a shit-eating grin on my face when Alan started giving his welcome to the traitors. It was so good. The production value is so high, and I think they have a great cast. So that's all I'll say for now, but I just want to assure you that you have a lot to be excited about. It's just a really well done reality competition series. And it really brings a smile to my face. Okay, so now we have to get to potentially one of the, I don't want to bring the festivities down here, but we have a very serious story to talk about. Potentially the most serious story that you're going to hear in 2026. Are you ready? Okay. I am sad to report that Bethenny Frankel has gotten a nasty bacterial infection in St. Bart's. That's right, folks. TMZ is reporting that Bethenny Frankel, on her New Year's getaway, this is how by the way, you got to just love entertainment reporting. This is how TMZ reports it. Bethenny Frankel's luxury New Year's getaway took a seriously itchy turn because she ended up with a bacterial infection on her face. On her face. Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny. I know it's not funny. Please don't come at me. Let me have this. I'm so sorry. She got it says she got a bacterial infection on her face after partying it up in St. Bart's, TMZ reports. The former Real Housewives of New York star revealed the uncomfortable situation herself, posting a TikTok Monday, of course, showing a large rash spread across her face. Quote, POV, you left St. Bart's 3 days early and brought home a bacterial infection, Bethenny captioned the clip, adding another jab at the island with, quote, allergic to St. Bart's, hashtag bye. Just a day earlier, Bethenny appeared more than ready to peace out on the tropical hotspot. In another TikTok, she said she was, quote, itching to get off the island. Itching to get... I'm sorry. Guys, I know she's going to be safe, so it's okay to laugh, but also, how Bethenny is it to by the way, I think you might have to waterboard this information out of me, but this is content for Bethenny, so you're going to hear potentially a lot about this bacterial infection. A source close to Bethenny tells TMZ she was treated with a topical medication, and we're told the infection has already cleared. A source close to Bethenny tells TMZ, don't worry, folks, she was treated with topical medication, and we're told the infection has already cleared. And then they end the article saying St. Bart's seems to have given Bethenny more than just New Year's memories. Guys, after a busy day, when this TMZ story alert popped up on my phone, because I get TMZ alerts, because I'm a man, oh, how I needed it. How I needed this story. And I got to tell you, St. Bart's in Aspen, you couldn't pay me. It seems like these places are it's a celebrity hotspot where they are it feels like they're just passing around viral infections. I mean, come on, you got the Tom Brady, the Alex Earl, you got Shep Rose over there, you got Giselle and her daughters. Everybody's vacationing in these spots. And the people in St. Bart's weren't, if I'm not mistaken, weren't they like some of them still can't get home because there is restricted airspace because we have now taken over, or Maduro's, and we've taken over Venezuela. So they restricted the airspace. So it's making it difficult for people to come home. And so by the way, Shep Rose is like, I guess Shep Rose doesn't have a job. Like he's okay to be trapped over there. Most celebrities are going to be okay. Don't worry. But I just thought this was wild. Like the fact that this got pushed out as a headline. And I posted this on Instagram and I was like, I said, pray for celebrities, you guys. And I love people that follow me that don't understand that I'm a jackass. I mean, I think they inherently understand. But the fact that they're like, this isn't important news because I wrote like breaking news. Guys, I'm not a newscast. What? Of course it's not important news. Look at the account that it's coming from. Media literacy, folks. But my God, and the pictures of the viral bacterial infection. Oh, Bethenny. Now, I noticed the Bravo Babe posted a clip from Andy Cohen live on Sirius. He was back at it on his radio show today. And it looks like, what did he call Bethenny? He called her the margarita lady that does a lot of TikToks. And what did he say? It was something really funny and really shady. Oh, he said he called her the margarita lady with the margarita lady with suffocating TikToks. My God, that is brutality. Oh, anyways, I got that alert, and Rebecca and by the way, Rebecca is just, I'm amazed by her. She is a champ. She's entering the third trimester, and it is, man, she was not feeling well today, and she got through it, but it's just so wild, and she like the baby's pressing up against her ribs, and like it's just, I think she was in a little bit of misery today. And the one thing that we were really looking forward to was tonight's episode of Below Deck Med. This season, we finally got into it. And there's this guy, Joe Bradley, not the Joe Bradley from Southern Hospitality, but another Joe Bradley with big caterpillar eyebrows. I mean, good looking chap. And then there's this other girl, Kizzy. And Kizzy, I think, is just horrific. Ugh. And Joe Bradley was kind of like falling in deep like with this other lady on the boat who tragically lost her boyfriend, who had died I think over a year ago, and it was the anniversary of his passing, but they were kind of having flirties on the boat, and it was very sweet. And then she left the boat because she wasn't feeling well for a couple of days, and this Joe Bradley drunkenly made out with Kizzy. Kizzy's made out with everybody, you guys. But Joe Bradley, and I was like, how dare you, Joe Bradley? Because Joe Bradley's been on Below Deck before, and he's just, he tries to hit anything that's not nailed down in terms of women. And he had to tell the girl. Anyways, it was like a big episode because the reveal was finally going to happen where she was going to find out Joe Bradley kind of cheated on her. So we were like, whew, let's watch this. And so we go to turn on our DirecTV because we tape it, and it didn't tape. And then we were like, oh my God, is Below Deck not a new episode tonight? And then I was like, wait, it's a new Watch What Happens Live, but not a new Below Deck. What? And then it was a new Below Deck, but DirecTV, all of a sudden it said it was episode 5, season 7, and this is not season 7. And so we were like, what the hell? But it wasn't just DirecTV, YouTube TV. I checked with other people, and they had the same mistake. So it seems like Bravo uploaded the wrong description. Now, this is how nerdy I am, because I realized that it's not, at first I thought this was DirecTV slip up, but it must have been Bravo that gave the wrong information to all the cable companies and the DVR people, and we were livid. And then we just had to wait until it aired a second time tonight, and it was okay, but we were livid. Do you ever do that when you sit down to watch something that you've been really looking forward to watching and you can't access it? And that just, in the world of streaming, in the world where we should have everything at our fingertips, we never have anything at our fingertips, the things that we truly want. And I always find that just completely infuriating. Who's with me? Let's march on Bravo tomorrow. Okay, anyways, after this commercial break, we'll come right back with more stories. And we're back. Okay, we might have one of the first Bravo celebrity breakups of the new year. Lisa Hochstein from Real Housewives of Miami. You know how she was with that Jody guy with the the wide eye guys. He has wide eyes, big eyes. In a deleted Instagram post, somebody had asked him, because he posted, "Grateful for family, friends, and the year that I've had." He posted this on Instagram. And then somebody underneath it wrote, "Where is Lisa in this?" Because Lisa Hochstein did not appear in his year-end post. And he wrote, "We've gone our separate ways, but I still care about her deeply and want the best for her." But that post has been since deleted. So I don't know if they broke up and they got back together or whatnot. All I know is that we need those cameras up on the next season of Real Housewives of Miami. So they might just brace yourself, folks. I hate to bring more bad news after Bethenny's face parasite. But yeah, that might be a breakup. Also, Amanda Batula posted an Instagram slide thing today with a bunch of different photos. She looked beautiful, looked happy, but a lot of people pointed out she was not wearing her wedding ring in any of the photos. So we're getting more and more evidence that maybe something is up. I know I'm in the minority, but I don't want to see those crazy kids break up. But I know I'm in the minority. Don't come at me. That's just what I'm hearing. Now, this story, you guys, this is so bizarre and weirdly sad in a weird way. Anyways, Denise Richards obviously is estranged from her husband, Aaron Phypers, right now. And Aaron Phypers' mother started a GoFundMe for her son. Because the family has been evicted from the Los Angeles mansion he once shared with Denise Richards, and so they are now publicly asking for help. Aaron's mother, Patricia Phypers, launched a GoFundMe page claiming the family is desperate after a Los Angeles court ruled in favor of the landlord and granted possession of the $3.3 million home. In an emotional plea, Patricia framed the situation as both financial and deeply personal. And you can check out this GoFundMe. It is out there. But she wrote, "Please help my son Aaron, a grandmother begging for justice and for the little girl torn from our lives, Patricia Phypers." And she wrote, "I am a mother and a grandmother begging the public for help. My son, Aaron Phypers, has been destroyed by false allegations, Hollywood power, and a system determined to silence him." Oh, and 5G. But the deepest wound is the loss of his daughter, my granddaughter, Eloise. She was our light. She adored her daddy, and overnight she was taken from him and from us without truth, without justice, without mercy. When my daughter-in-law needed help, I was brought in to hold a collapsing home together. 36 dogs, 5 cats, 36 dogs? What? 5 cats, endless responsibilities, all hidden from the landlord. I spent my small pension on vet bills, food, and care because no one else would. My son Brett and I were put in an impossible, unlawful situations to cover for fraud we never created. And through it all, I cared for Eloise for weeks, loving her, protecting her, giving her stability while my daughter-in-law traveled. That's Denise. I even cared for her older daughter's cats because they wouldn't bother. Now my son, the man who carried this entire household, has been cut off, slandered, starved, wrongfully arrested, and left with nothing. No income, no home, no ability to fight back, and no access to the daughter who needs him. We are facing eviction. Our utilities are being shut off. My pension is gone. We are out of options. Please, if you have ever loved a child or grandchild, help my son fight for the truth and for Eloise. Your support may be the only thing that saves him. With a breaking heart, Patricia Phypers. You read this, right? Your heart, I mean, if you're a feeling person, it's very sad, right? This is a mother asking for help for her son. And then the allegations against him, though, it's physical abuse. There's a lot of allegations, there's some really, really dark things. Now, the other sad part of this, so she asked for $30,000 on GoFundMe. And this has been up, looks like for 3 days. Guess how much has been raised? $60. 3 donations, $60. And I don't know what I expected. I was kind of like, there's a lot of people that just give money to anything, but I don't know but I know I expected more than $60. So I thought that was, just horrific. Because you just imagine the mother going to check the GoFundMe and it's like still at $60. So wanted to make you aware of it. I didn't want to gatekeep that information. So I'm very curious. And I said this last year. I said this thing is going to continue to get darker and darker, and I'm very scared about what happens next in terms of the next steps in their estrangement. Now, moving on to potentially something crazier, we talked a lot about Stranger Things and the series finale that aired on December 31st on Netflix. And there is this insane conspiracy theory going on right now about Stranger Things. Is that a lot of fans online, this is all over my TikTok feed, but you can find this. Just type in Stranger Things conspiracy and it'll pop right up. But there is this conformity gate theory saying that what we saw is not the actual finale of Stranger Things, and that the actual finale is going to magically appear on January 7th. That January 7th, they're actually going to have the real finale. And people are like looking for all of these clues in the final episode. And what they're saying that final episode is that it wasn't the real ending at all, but a false reality created by Vecna, one meant to pacify the characters and the audience. In this version of events, the Mind Flayer still has its grip on Hawkins. Vecna ultimately won, and the neat epilogue that you saw in the finale was designed to make everyone stop questioning what they were seeing. And according to some fans, there is still this other episode coming that is going to pull back the curtain entirely. So it's called Conformity Gate. And this just shows you what fans, the lengths that they will go to when they don't like something. They will create this alternate reality where, oh, that's not real, man. We're getting a real thing. But I will tell you, some of these theories are so detailed, and they've like gone through every scene in the finale, and they've found all these clues, including the role of the Dungeons and Dragons dice that hit the number 7, and that's why they think it's January 7th. There are some interesting things, though, I will say, and this is something that you can try for yourself at home if you want to indulge me. If you go to Netflix.com and you type in the search bar, I tried this last night. Let's see if it still holds up. I shit you not. If you type in on the Netflix search box, fake ending, Stranger Things pops up. Isn't that weird? Like, if you type in fake ending, Stranger Things, that pops up. I can, if you don't believe me, I'm telling you, try for yourself. Fake ending pops up. So that is a little weird. I don't know how search bars work on Netflix, but that pops right up. Also, that they're saying at a lot of movie theaters on January 7th and beyond, that there's a lot of theaters that are not displaying movies, and a lot of fans think it's because they're going to drop this Stranger Things finale, and that's what all of these movie theaters have been reserved for. Now, that I don't have a lot of proof for, but that's another thing that they're saying. Now, what I can prove to you, and what you can actually see on the 12th, on January 12th, this was announced today, that there isn't a new episode, but there is a Netflix documentary about the making of Stranger Things Season 5, and it's called One Last Adventure, The Making of Stranger Things 5. And this premieres on Netflix January 12th. They just announced this today on Monday, so if you're a Stranger Things fan, I mean, I'll watch a documentary about anything, so I'm definitely going to watch this. But it is wild, man. I went down a rabbit hole last night like you wouldn't believe. And I was like, I don't know, man, maybe there is an episode, but there just isn't. I just see even some of they're like in that final graduation scene, you'll see the extras all have their hands on their lap, just like Vecna when he's human, like Henry Creel, he puts his hands the exact same way. And I'm like, if you're sitting down, where are you going to put your hands? I think it's just like extras being just bad extras in the background. I don't know, but I wanted to make you aware. If it is true, at least we talked about it. But I don't know why, if you type in fake ending, Stranger Things pops up. That's the thing that gets me. That really weirded me out. Okay. I feel better now that I told you guys. It makes it more real. I was looking into Chinese astrology today. Now, Chinese astrology in 2026, their Lunar New Year arrives on February 17th, and that's when we say goodbye to the year of the snake and we usher in the year of the fire horse. And in Chinese astrology, the horse represents confidence, movement, and freedom to experience new beginnings in 2026. And that weirdly comforted me. I'm not a big astrology guy, but I kind of got into that. I was like, oh, I'm looking for anything hopeful, I want to hang my hat on some sort of hope. So hopefully that'll give you some sort of hope. Also, I wanted to talk about some music. I talked a lot about movies and TV on Monday's episode, but in terms of music, here's a couple of albums that we have to look forward to in 2026. If you're a big Charlie XCX Brat fan, Charlie XCX new 12-track soundtrack album to the movie Wuthering Heights will release on February 13th. She's doing the entire soundtrack album, and I'm really curious to see what she does. And that's the Wuthering Heights movie with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi that I talked about on Monday. Also, if you're a Duffster, if you're a Hilary Duff fan, her 6th studio album called Luck or Something is set for February 20th. Rihanna's husband A$AP Rocky will return to the rap game to drop Don't Be Dumb on January 16th, and he dropped his first music video for that album today, and it stars Winona Ryder, so that's awesome. Lana Del Rey, her anticipated 10th studio album called Stove, is rumored to release sometime in January, so look out for that. BTS's first album in 6 years is set for March 30th, if you're into BTS. Let's see, what else do we have here? Madonna's follow-up to Confessions on a Dance Floor is rumored for sometime this year. Olivia Rodrigo's 3rd album is on its way, but the release date is TBD, but sometime in 2026. And Beyonce is teasing her Act 3 of Renaissance, and Cowboy Carter, Act 3 is coming sometime in 2026. I believe we will have that announcement sooner rather than later. So those are a few things to possibly look forward to. That and the Stranger Things new episode. So that gets us started today. Let's get to our interview. I want to also let you guys know I'll be back on Jeff Lewis Live this Thursday with Judge Lauren Lake at 9 a.m. on Radio Andy, Sirius Channel 102. Can't wait to be back with those guys. I hung out with them on Saturday night for Shane's birthday. That was a blast, and I'll be going to Doug's birthday dinner tonight. Doug Buden, God, I love Doug Buden. If you guys don't know Doug, he's a prince among men. So we're celebrating his birthday dinner tonight, and I think some exciting things are happening in the Jeff Lewis universe. So it'll be exciting to let you guys know more about that as time moves on. So let's get to this interview. Like I said, it truly was one of my favorite interviews last year, and I'm so happy to finally get to release it. There were so many times I was going to release it, and they were all around holidays where I kept getting reminded it's probably not the best subject matter, the Delphi murders, for holiday consumption. And you know what? I probably was wrong. I probably still should have released it. But this is what I consider an evergreen interview, that you can listen to this at any time, and I think it still has the same impact. But more importantly, I want you to check out this book. I just blew through this book. It is called Shadow of the Bridge, and it is written by Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee, the hosts of the Murder Sheet podcast. It is so well written, this. And I also want to thank Christina Byington for this interview. She is just one of the most amazing listeners, and she was the one that recommended this book and recommended them, and I'm so glad she did. So shout out to Christina Byington. She has just always been so incredible to me and to this show. So after our final commercial break, no more commercial breaks for this entire interview, we will get to this interview that takes us through the Delphi murders, Richard Matthew Allen, and more importantly, commemorates the victims and these amazing young women, 13-year-old Abigail Williams and 14-year-old Liberty German, who lost their lives on a hike on the trail of the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. So after this commercial break, we'll get right to that interview. Thanks for being here today, you guys.